David Sosnowski, 236 South George Hensel Drive. My name is David Sosnowski. Like I said, I work for the City of Montebello in the Parks Director Department, what I consider to be the heart of the city. I'm the Youth and Adult Sports Coordinator. My staff and I, we run 6 men's adult leagues, 1 women's, these are basketball leagues, 3 adult softball leagues, and seasonal youth sports with 200 to 250 kids registered during each season. I'm here to represent the Parks and Rec Department, but also the residents in the community that participate in the programs. I was a resident of Montebello for 17 years. It feels like I never left home. I worked here for 9 years. 3 years preceding that, I did the SYP, Summer Youth Employment Program. There I learned how hard the parks crew works and the streets crew work, because I worked with them side by side. I learned how to prep baseball fields, but most importantly, I learned how wide the range of duties is that the department covers. I could always say that the Parks and Rec Department was and is there and continue to be there to provide memories, experiences, but most of all a sense of community to its residents. Whether it was a 4th of July celebration with thousands in attendance or a field trip to the beach with just me and 50 kids, the Parks and Rec Department is a part of the fabric of the community and a little bit more than I think we realize. I consider the department to be the very heart of the city, like I mentioned before, and nearly everyone can remember an experience that they could attribute to Parks and Rec. Some examples: when your son or daughter hit their first home run, Parks and Rec was there. Where skateboarders have a chance to call their home and have organized contests, Parks and Rec is there. Where Mr. Mike can teach kids how to sing and dance, and he could teach young staff to become young leaders, Parks and Rec is there. When Santa Claus comes to town, Parks and Rec is there. When it snows in Montebello, Parks and Rec is there. When the next Metallica and the next U2 have a chance to showcase their talent, Parks and Rec is there. When a kid gets an A in math because the staff at Hollyfield Park Rec Center helped him, Parks and Rec is there. When the women's basketball players have a place to call their home too, Parks and Rec is there. When you saw your first fireworks show, Parks and Rec is there. And I have many fond memories working here, but none are based on what I gained from the city, but more of what I did for the community, what we do for the community every day. Working until midnight at Grant Ray to install goalposts so the Indians can have them for their games. Running a youth explosion event on the weekends, building soccer goals out of PVC pipe, having youth sports for only $35 for the kids. These are all my memories that I have. I always strive to instill our new staff that we don't work for the money, we don't work for the pride, the fame, or even that they don't work for myself. They don't work for our supervisors or our director. We work directly for the community. Our staff are right now they're not worried about budgets and figures, but right now they're out there trying to get us more kids for our women's basketball, and more teams for our women's basketball, more kids for our youth basketball. So to my staff that believe in what I tell them is Jacob Castillo, Pamela Hernandez, Derek Delgado, Jeff Salinas. Thank you guys for your dedication.
Mr. Sosnowski, you can sum up your comments, please.
Okay. I do not envy being in your shoes, obviously, and having the tough task of rectifying the current financial problems. And I appreciate the severity of the situation at hand. Before I leave, I ask that you strongly consider the importance of the Parks and Rec Department to the community. I ask this not because our staff need our paychecks, which obviously we all need our paychecks. I ask it so you don't deprive this great city that I grew up in of its rec centers, our senior center, aquatic center, daycares, after-school rec sites, and sports programs. I'm asking that you consider the value of the Parks and Rec Department as a need-to-have department and not a nice-to-have department, so that way in order that we don't leave the city without its heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your comments, Mr. Sosnowski.